Good morning, folks, and we're going to be talking Cyberpunk 2077 because why not? It's just what we want to talk about these days. And there's been a few posts the past few days that are interesting. It's referring to role-playing options and the Lifepaths. Now, we know a bit about the Lifepaths from previously, but we got a little bit more explanation this time around. There is a big variety of different skills that players can modify as they develop their character throughout the game. And in turn, they can use these skills to discover different paths to the levels to discover different options and quests. Now, you can actually go to their Twitter and see short little 1-minute videos they release about every week or so, and they talk about some of those skills. Very similar to Skyrim. The more you use the skill, the better it gets. The faster the reload animation is, let's say for shooting, and I think they might actually have different reload animations as you get better in those skills. On top of that, we also have these things called Lifepaths, which are the origins of our character that we choose at the beginning of the game when we create the character. So, for example, you might imagine that if you're a street kid, you have an easier time talking to different gangs, or if you're a corporate, you might have an advantage over people from the corporation since you know how they think and how they operate. Now, that's interesting how they could say that if you choose a certain life path, your dialogue options will change based off this selection, but how diverse is that? How many branching paths are that? I don't know. It's probably more akin to Shadowrunner, I'd imagine. You could have a certain social background, corporate or what have you, and that would allow you to communicate better with certain people of certain dispositions. Fine. I don't know. Again, to do these sorts of things would drastically increase complexity of dialogue branches. So designing the game with life paths in mind from the start would have had to have happened, and then going through all these iterations of dialogue and gameplay choice. That would be a lot of effort for a game of this scope and production value. So if they did it right, it'd be great. If they did it okay, it's just going to be an extra dialogue option if you chose that path. One of the important things that we're doing in Cyberpunk is trying to make sure transitions through the quest are really seamless. Okay, it's one of the things we've done with our scene system, and we've reworked it completely from the ground up. We're saying our scene system for The Witcher 3 was one of the most advanced scene systems ever created, and frankly, we threw it away and made a new one that is even better. Okay, that's a bit crazy. That's a good thing. I mean, that they know what they're doing, and they're like, we can do better. Start from scratch. That's crazy. And it's good to know that they have the capacity and the freedom to do that. Because it's very rare. It's like, imagine BioWare saying, hey, we're just going to throw away our dialogue wheel and do something completely new and better. It's like, whoa, really? See, I wouldn't believe that because of Andromeda, but I'm just saying CD Projekt Red seems to have that capacity. Now, I'm not going to go over the ausgamers interview. This is kind of hard to read. It's kind of all over the place, but there's another article that was written by PC Gamer, which is kind of a little interesting. I kind of like it. We have a big variety of different skills that players can modify as they develop their skills about the game. Yep, okay, same idea. And in turn, they use these skills to discover different paths through the levels, so to discover different options and quests. So yeah, if you're skilled in a certain way, you can complete the quest a certain manner. Sounds like good Deus Ex style gameplay, obviously not as sophisticated, but on the level and in the same genre, so cool. On top of that, we also have this thing called the life paths, which are the origins of our character that we choose at the beginning of the game when we create the character. So for example, you might imagine that if you're a street kid, you'll have an easier time talking to different gangs, or if you're a corporate, you might have an advantage over people from the corporations since you know how they think and how they operate. Again, very similar to Shadowrunner, same concept. It's a nice way of looking at dialogue. You don't have to have this overtly complex branching path story, but to have those elements are beautiful. CD Projekt said in follow-up tweets that there will be 3 life paths to choose from: Streetkid, Corpo, and Nomad. We knew that already, which should significantly enhance Cyberpunk's 2077 replayability. He said in an interview with US Gamer in June that players will have to play through the game at least 3 times in order to fully experience each life path. So they're really putting the content behind your origin story, apparently, that you have to go through the game. Probably New Game Plus, possibly just a reload. But that's great. You have this massive game that you have to play through 3 times to get all the experience, or all the scenes, all the content. It's sounding good. It's sounding very RPG-like. Obviously, there's all kinds of technical hurdles, and the level of detail for even the visuals is pretty impressive. So, can they pull it off in an elegant way and make it for launch date? I don't know. It's the more they keep revealing, the more questions I have. But this is all good stuff to digest and wonder about. And do check out their Twitter feed. They've got all kinds of great little videos like this one that last about a minute. So check it out yourself. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.